Hello and welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between, it is a special time of year again. We are back in Barovia. Welcome back to Ravenloft. The not so one shot, but it's now a yearly event. Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
I've been asleep for a year.
Hi. Oh.
Yes, we have a. It's good to have you back, Reed. Unfortunately, Vic will not be joining us today. We're hoping that maybe in the future they may be able to jump in. But for the foreseeable future, I will be playing Johnny as an NPC to keep his character involved, and also, have the stand-in ready if available.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been a year, and it's gonna be time for a little bit of a recap. So, last year, which in-game was like 2 hours ago.
Yesterday or 2 hours ago, yeah.
Yesterday.
Whoa.
Yeah, your party had recently provided aid towards the Wizards of the Wine, which is now in this run campaign over here, because I screwed up the map when I originally did this, but we're not going to cover too much about that. The point is, you guys went to the Wizard of the Wine, helped a bunch of were-ravens, scare out a bunch of evil druids.
Did we ever learn they were were-ravens? That seems like new information.
You learned that they were were-ravens back in Vallaki. If I remember correctly.
I don't recall that, but alright.
Or maybe
I
I'm
feel
just
I
jumping
would
the
have
gun.
rizzed them up if I knew that. But all right.
Or maybe I'm just screwing myself over, but I mean, I'm fairly certain everyone already knew.
The point is, today is now.
Today is now.
I knew.
Yeah. After storming, basically AoEing a bunch of blight twigs and disregarding that entire major TPK situation, you guys managed to infiltrate the vineyard and take out the remaining druids. These druids were cladded in black and pink chitinous armor, which is the, I guess, molted remains of a tricrine druid known as Pierre. A very powerful druid and a very useful ally that the Wizards of Wine have been helping for quite some time now. He was in fact one of the druid that provided them very magical items, these little gems, that basically makes their wine actually taste good, which in Barovia is a very needed vice.
Can you imagine if we couldn't get drunk? It's like, oh, is someone getting hanged today at least?
I mean, that's possible.
the entertainment of the medieval days.
Maybe in
Vallaki.
Vallaki.
Especially if it's like Raven's Eve or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
What good is a hang if you can't have a hangover?
That's really good.
with that in mind, with a little bit of mind reading, interrogation, and fast friends, you were able to figure out that Pierre, after 10 years of disappearance, is still very much alive and needed your help immediately. After the druids had stolen one of the powerful gems, they were going to use it to effectively uproot him from the Yesterhill tree. Wasting no time, and with a little bit of help from Mustard Seed's ranger abilities, you were able to get to Yesterhill quite quickly, and with no altercations from Strahd. You did have a little bit of altercation with a couple of the druids that were kind of, watching the road, but you easily dispatched them, and broke some hearts along the way.
And pelvises.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah. Upon reaching Yester Hill, Beloved managed to acquire a very powerful spear that she believes is a gift from her late husband. And with the aid of Mustard Seed, Bugs Bunnying his way into the Druid Circle, Shem was able to get towards an effigy that was storing the magical gem. After dispatching what's left of the druids, Pierre was able to provide aid and transform the tree that he was bound to into a much more beneficial asset. Due to you keeping Pierre alive, he has now stopped all production of blight monstrosities within Barovia.
Cool.
Yee.
That being said, there will still be some left over, but it just means that there's not going to be an infinite spawn count of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of like cleaning up the confetti in the hall. It's like that you're never gonna get all of it out of the carpet.
Yeah, it's like trying to get sand out of a shag rug.
Ugh.
Or glitter out of anything.
My ass.
Yeah,
Glitter is like cockroaches. It can survive a nuclear explosion.
yeah.
The herpes of art supplies.
Holy shit!
Whoa.
Addition to basically purging Barovia blights for the moment. Pierre was able to reward Irina. Fuck, I blanked. I blue screened for a moment. Irina with a flower rapier of her own. One that has a flower dedicated to specifically letting her know when a undead is nearby. Which was very useful, because it almost immediately told you that Strahd Von was walking down the lane to go down, to take a little peek at memory lane, so to speak.
Timing.
Exactly. Mustard Seed, once again, coming in with a quick save, provided a rope trick, allowing everyone to hide for at least an hour.
I don't know how we keep doing this. I have 0 in charisma.
Beloved, choosing to stay out in the open, managed to pull off a very lucky roll with her charisma, and with a quaint curtsy, was able to get him to chill out. After 30 minutes of contemplating the past and looking at what a home that he cannot reach again, Strahd left, feeling a little bit calmer now that he's had time to contemplate the situation at hand. He, as previously stated in past sessions, Strahd does have an anger level. He was at 7, but due to last year, he dropped down to 5. So that's good.
So we still have tanks, but no longer helicopters.
Exactly. After reconvening with your party, the party with Irina in tow, Isaac, who is following Irina, and Periwimple, who is protecting his uncle, as well as trying to protect Irina, decided to follow Pierre's instructions to head over to a tower over in Lake Beratok. Additionally, your other NPCs are still over at the Wizards of Wine. It was deemed too dangerous for them to be going towards the Druid Circle, and they were basically one AoE away from just being, all killed. So they're like, hey, we're going to stay here till you guys come to pick us up.
Peasant stats.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. You had your carpenter, the coffin salesman. He's busy, patching up the house, so he's busy.
So we did manage to get him to the shoot. This the formerly haunted house that we now own.
Well, they're still at the Wizards of the Wine, I think.
Yes, they are. They're not at the not all the way down in the village of Barovia. It's a little too far away. Right now, they're still with the Wizards of Wine. They're at the vineyard.
Yeah. Because we got two of their, like, gems back, so it should help them a little bit.
Yeah, Pierre was able to take the gems, and he's going to personally run them through his roots back to the vineyard. But, you guys will still have to come back there for your NPCs later. You were told about the lake and how it is technically a safe ground for one of his allies that he hasn't seen for a bit. Upon reaching the lake, you realize that it is protected by a spell called Druid Grove, which is basically just tower defense for the tower. Upon reaching there, you saw a cabin that, with the help of Shem and Mustard Seed, you figured out was filled with fucking explosives and a chicken.
Chicken. The plot chickens.
I'm gonna write a script and have you look it over so you can just insert funny lines like that.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, right? He's just cranking them out like it's nothing.
Pun machine.
Ooh.
Either way,
Ooh.
after investigating the area, you found out two things. One, the tower is heavily protected with both evocation magic on the outside and anti-magic on the inside.
Huh.
The door...
I have to walk the...
Yeah, the door is very much locked. And you followed footsteps leading away from the cabin, from a hatch underneath, out towards the woods, towards the northern, I guess the western side of Lake Zarevich, and leading more towards the northern end of it. But after following the tracks for a little bit, you quickly came to see who was leaving them and backtracking very fast. This woman, who I can now show art of.
Oh my.
It's been a year.
It's been a year and I still need to fucking upload it. God damn it.
Oh, no.
I was doing the finishing touches on it just like 30 minutes before the session started, so...
She's
Gray.
getting her makeup done. It's okay.
Yeah.
While
Gray.
she's running from the werewolves, she's got a little compact mirror out.
She's gotta get her blush on, and she's gotta, get her eyeliner on.
What is this?
Mirror.
The PBR word of the day?
Makeup?
Putting blush on because the bride
Yeah.
and thing.
Oh,
She
sorry.
puts her makeup. She does her wig. Very demure.
Very mindful.
Very mindful.
Very cunty. But it's fine, Gray. Like Gray, Hollywood had years to make Joker 2 and they failed. So you're doing fine.
Oof.
Ooh.
Is that not coming out?
It's
It
out.
came out, and it just fizzled and flopped in a fantastic fashion.
Is it Lady Gaga in it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Was she any good?
Turns out, she was in the movie way less than it seemed.
Oh.
Well, that's...
To give you an idea, I think this is an hour and a half movie, or like 2 hours. She was there for like 15 to 20 minutes.
That's really bad. Because the trailer's been
Yes.
there the whole time. Oh no.
I think it was
There
like...
was also a scene in the trailer of them like going up the steps with a bunch of paparazzi near them. That never actually happened in the movie.
Oh boy.
Wow, they straight up just celebrity dropped Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn and proceeded to just
Yep.
flounder. Okay,
Yep.
They didn't even audience test screen this.
wow.
Nope.
Alright,
Wow.
this is what she looks like.
Hey! She did her makeup. She did her wig.
The redhead. We have like so many redheads in this party. They're all like NPCs.
Where's
Well,
everyone?
hey,
again?
they have to balance it out. 'Cause all of us are black as shit.
Yeah, well, it's like, well, Beloved's a character. She's got red hair. Irina has red hair. Isaac, if he had any hair, would probably be a redhead too.
Oh, there it is.
My dude's technically a redhead. Kind of pink, but
Yeah. So we got red hair, we got black hair, and feathers, and fur.
Yeah.
It's red and black all over. But yeah, she does have a more of a darker complexion. She has, for those who are listening, her hair is wild and kind of unkept. It's very curly in some parts, and it's mostly tied back with a bandana that she wears across her head. After she saw you, with quick thinking from the rest of you guys, you quickly jumped into the Druid Grove as an ocean of fucking wolves were chasing after her. Of which case, she immediately goes for the tower, not even bothering with the wagon itself. She does a little dance, and as everyone piles in, she slams the door shut, only hearing an electrocution of wolves outside as they try to breach the door.
it's not their fault to pack.
Additionally, because this was kind of overlooked on last session last year, you guys still have two unconscious, tied up, and gagged feral druids in your wagon.
How did they get there exactly? I don't remember that part.
When you guys were...
We captured them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the road up to Yester Hill, you guys got ambushed by druids. Two of them were still hit with a hypnotic pattern, and instead of just, killing them, you're like, oh, alright, well, free druids. It's free real estate.
Brings them.
So since we took out, the druid circle, do we even need these guys anymore, or do they have valuable information?
Not really. I mean, they are feral druids.
I mean, the werewolves might eat them, and I
Yeah.
doubt any of us care.
Yeah, if they're still in that wagon out there, I think they're dead.
Yeah.
Snow's dead.
Well, it's up to Gray.
I will roll for it to see if they
If
actually
they're alive,
live.
we'll do whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I throw a unclean syringe at it just to be safe.
They're in God's hands now, and God is not here. Well,
God is
the road
dead, and I
goes.
got work in the morning.
Yeah.
That should be on like, the Welcome to Barovia sign. It's in God's hands now, and God's not here.
Damn.
Damn, that's really hardcore.
I'm gonna have Beloved do a perception check on our new guest. Assuming it
Oh, yeah,
loads. There we go.
Did I ever do like a fit check on her? Because she said she's like a Van Helsing style vampire hunter, and I kind of wanted to be like, check her gear and see if she's like full of shit or if she seems to actually have her shit together.
All right, go ahead and roll perception or investigation.
All right.
All
Not
right.
to be too metagaming, but let me check my. It's been so long that I look at my stats. I don't know if I have proficiency in any of these. I do not.
Mustard Seed has a passive perception of 22. Does that help?
Well,
I'll get to you in a bit. I'll read off what Beloved sees first.
Fair.
Beloved, with an 11 right off the gate, immediately the first thing you notice is that this girl is missing a leg.
Oh,
Her right leg from the knee down is a prosthetic. A really fancy one at that. But it's definitely noticeable since you can see the inner machinations inside.
Ooh.
Beloved rudely crouches down and tilts her head to look at the fake leg.
Oh.
Yeah, what?
Yes, that
Where
is...
are we now? Are we safe in the tower now?
Yeah, you guys are in the tower, and things have gone slightly quiet.
So she came to us.
Yeah, she was racing towards the tower. You guys happen to be in the way, and she's like, get the fuck out of the way. Run. Move.
Want to live.
Why?
So I had a
What's
couple.
happening?
Oh, we're already in there, so.
Nah, I'm kidding.
Since
Yes.
as I was,
Go on.
I was wondering if you'd let me use religion as my checker for if it's whack or not check, because it seems like that would be sort of fitting since it's like how knowledgeable she seems to be about hunting undead nonsense
It's a
based
stretch.
on her like iconography.
It's a stretch, but I'll allow it.
Okay. 'Cause religion is like my stat. And watch me roll a 1. Yeah, I rolled a 4.
Okay. With a
That's
12,
Still a 12.
it's still a 12. Immediately, the first thing that comes to mind, you see that on her side, you see that she has a silver short sword, which is very useful. You see that most of her equipment seems like the standard adventurer at the very least. She's definitely well equipped. But with a religion aspect, you do see that, like, kind of like a bandolier across her chest, is just 6 vials of holy water, which you can distinctly tell because they have iconography of the Lord of the Sun, essentially.
We're officially in D&D realm, so would that be Pelor?
Yes,
Taylor.
Paylor.
Okay. They pronounce it wrong in the show I've been listening to.
Oh, well, that's how I always heard pronounced. Regardless.
She, now taking a moment to look you guys over, she says, so, you guys said you're friends of Pierre, right?
Newly acquainted, yes.
Huh,
Yes.
good. Good, I'm not gonna lie, looking at you guys now, would have been a little bit more concerned about letting you guys in here, if I was going purely by looks.
Because where you look too friendly?
Sure, let's go with that. She looks at Beloved, who just straight up looks like the corpse bride. Mustard Seed, who is, obviously Fey by nature. Bird, who's very obviously a wizard in a black cloak, so that's usually like, oh, are you a good wizard or are you Barovian wizard, aka necromancer?
Hot.
Are you a good bitch or a bad bitch?
Oh!
And then you got Johnny, who's straight up dressed like Dark Souls Johnny McGee.
John Bloodborne.
John Bloodborne over here.
Dr. Pepper's, who's a bird.
Dr. Pepper, who's wearing a plague doctor mask, which is
Yeah.
concern.
Again, the way John talked to us, normally when you play Ravenloft, you make characters that are opposed to all the creepy darkness that happens in this story. We dressed up for it.
Yeah. we
Like-
are the emo.
Yeah, but it's
I
okay.
got
If
full on version that has like crow painting.
What?
Oh, I said my guy full on has crow painting, like from the crow. He's got like the black lines on his eyes and mouth.
Oh, right. The
Yeah.
kickboxer's ninja's son, martial art guy.
Yeah, and just even the fucking fairy looks like he's just straight out of like
A grim fairy tale.
a grim fairy tale essentially. She's like, "Oh wow, this is certainly a crowd I've gotten into."
Troubled and parched. Why don't you enjoy a nice, refreshing cure-all beverage?
That's a refreshing glass of OJ.
Yeah, it's
What
Dr.
flavor is it?
It's got 23
Meh.
flavors.
Delicious medicine flavored, also cherry.
She's like, "You after Dr. Pepper, go ahead and give me a medicine check."
Okay.
While he does that, Mustard Seed's going to speak up and say,
Well, since we're on the subject of appearances, you don't seem as if you have any druidic experience. What is your relationship to Pierre?
He was friends with my master, teacher. Dr. Pepper, you immediately see that this woman has sustained some damage. So if this medicine is going to heal her, she'd happily take it.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Please give him advantage on that roll. Come on. A nat 20. Come on.
"What if I give him
Man.
advantage?"
Yeah, bro.
All right,
Too
yeah.
late, you already-
I mean,
Sure, I'll do it.
the DC was 12. It was to see how
Okay.
hurt she was, so you extra see that she's really fucked up. But with a natural 20, you do realize that there are no bite marks, so that's a good sign.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
she will
What a strat.
she'll take that good medicine of yours. Is this one of your healings?
Yeah. Professor Pep's 2d8 all diseases.
Okay.
It cures all diseases, so.
Trademark.
Trademark.
That is
Also, I just realized a lot of monsters from werewolves, vampires, and zombies, you turn into them or are cursed by them from biting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's almost as if people did understand, hey, that's how you get diseases.
Yeah, from like the mouth and stuff, yeah.
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 Well,
She
did kind of figure it out, but you had to make up a cool story for people to follow it.
she downs it, like, just full on shotguns it down. She's like,
Burp after.
she says, oh wow, that's really fizzy. Oh, excuse me. That's very tasty. It's probably the best medicine I've ever tasted, if I'm being completely honest. She is now back to half health now.
Oh.
Oh, great.
So she's an
Well done, Dr.
apprentice
Pepper.
apprentice. She's an apprentice
Thank you,
apprentice.
Yeah, she is technically still an apprentice.
But like a low level apprentice.
I mean, you haven't seen her. I'd like to think that she was handling herself pretty okay, due to, you know, having a fucking an army of wolves and dire wolves chase after her. So, you know.
Yeah, fair enough.
She's
Yeah,
alive
he's-
now.
He's being very talkative. I mean, Gordon Freeman didn't say a word when he was at Half-Life.
Boo!
Anyway,
Anyway.
so are we in like the foyer bottom level of the tower, or have we actually like started heading up?
Yes, you are currently at the bottom level. As you look more inside, it looks actually quite quaint. This bottom level seems almost like an indoor garden that's just riddled with vines and foliage inside. As it seems to be someone has made up a little herbalism table down here.
Oh,
The
that's cool.
elevator in the centermost part of this tower has been refurbished with fresh planks, but seems as though someone is going to have to manually crank up the place in order to go up.
Got it.
Well, Esmeralda will say, well, welcome to base camp. This used to be my master's old tower that he set up base for the longest time. But due to circumstances, he seems to be on the chase of a certain lead he's hoping to do. Anyway, I didn't quite catch your names, and I don't think I've introduced myself. My name is Esmeralda.
A pleasure.
And
Sorry, I was waiting for someone else to go, but my name is Bernardus, or just Bern for short. This is. I'm gonna point to the next person. Does someone else go next?
All right. Hello, my name is Dr. Mr. Peppers, and this is my nurse, the bride.
Dr. and Mrs. the girlfriend.
Beloved kind of nods at that.
Point to our big boys.
Yeah. I just sort of like just look at her a bit inquisitively and just go,
Mustard seed.
and I'm gonna roll an insight on her.
I was actually hoping to get on that, especially when she said her master's on the chase. Like,
Fuck! Well, my
Did it?
passive insight is 14. Can I use that instead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, 14.
With a passive 14, she's being polite.
But is she sus?
She's a little sus, because you're still very much strangers, and this is supposed to be a very secure location. If you are actually enemies in disguise, she's in a very vulnerable state.
I'm gonna look off to the side and use my primeval awareness just to see if, we might be surrounded.
As I do believe that is still technically magic, as you try to use your primeval awareness, you send out a spell. You will get refunded the spell slot, but it does not go off. As
Oh shit.
you realize that there are glyphs written all over in every tile within this tower,
Oh, okay.
seemingly stopping your magic. But you can roll a perception check to see if there's something outside.
My passive perception is 22, but I'm gonna roll to see if I get higher.
Yeah, did Chem get to introduce himself?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
so I was asking if I could do an insights check specifically on when she mentioned her master is on the hunt. Was that like a euphemism that he's in trouble, or like?
Go ahead and roll an insight if you would like.
Wow, I cannot roll tonight. That's only a 3. I mean, with my bonus it's 8, but still.
We just started. You're fine.
It's hard to say. You don't know her very well, and she seems to have a very a mix between a young and plucky adventurer who's just started and hasn't been, broken by the world yet, with also this strangely professional air to her. As she stands up and she dusts herself off, she has a very practiced pose and whatnot, leaning a little off her fake leg, but she's still, you can tell, even with an 8 in insight, she is still very much on guard.
He's trying to act cool, but failing miserably because he's not used to having to actually stand around. He's used to being able to float. So he's like kind of leaning against the wall and does like the Vegeta 2-finger wave, like sup. But it's a lot less imposing gesture when he's like barely taller than the doorstop.
Anyway.
This is Miss Irina and Mr. Isaac. They're siblings.
As well as Periwinkle and his uncle.
Oh yeah, they're here too.
As you guys look towards Isaac, he is like plastered to the wall, a little more paler than usual, and just kind of breathing heavy a little bit.
Most likely due to that magic nonsense.
I
No,
also think because
wolves.
the werewolves. Yeah.
Oh.
Does he not like wolves at all?
He is
I mean,
clutching
he-
he's clutching his arm.
His
Ah.
sister, quote unquote, died to a wolf attack, and he got fucked up.
Yeah, I remember that now. I suppose we'll try and calm him down.
Yeah, Irina is doing her best to give him some space, and Perry's like, "Oh, it's okay. It's just some pups." It's like, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. Don't touch me, don't touch me.
Maybe we should get him away from the door before we hear that poor horse stood on that car probably get mauled to death.
Speaking of which, 1 sec. I need to grab some dice.
Oh no. The poor horsey. It's gonna get massacred.
Oh no!
Imagine just being a horse hanging out, and all of a sudden, everything goes really bad.
Well, I mean, horses are like the most like anxiety-riddled animals ever. So, like a platoon of werewolves coming out of the woods to devour it is like probably actually on their list of expectations for the day.
Yeah. You need to put like a capybara in there somewhere.
Alrighty.
I mean, I hadn't said anything because I didn't want to jinx it, but yeah, those horses are probably dead.
And
But
the,
on the other hand,
werewolves are like, you know where
Beloved
you
can
are?
probably pull the cart.
That's true, yeah.
Probably.
What'd you say, John? Sorry.
I said, and the horses are the werewolves are like, you know where you are? You're in the jungle, baby. You're gonna die.
And unfortunately for the horses, yeah, even within the Druid Grove, the wolves see an easy prey, and you just hear the sound of horses just billowing out and dying. It's not much of a fight. They don't even have a chance to truly even get away because they're still hitched to the wagon.
No. Oh no.
Beloved just kind of stares at the door, and anyone who's looking at her can see her gripping the spear a lot more tightly.
As Esmeralda does say, sorry about your horses. It's best not to go out right now. If we open that door, I'm certain they would rush into here.
Yeah. Nurse, would you mind just like stabbing between the wood bars and see what you can get at?
I think the door is a bit more solid than that.
You also hear...
Beloved crouches down and tries jabbing underneath the door.
Yeah.
Like a cat trying to get you out of the bathroom.
You try, it's quite very much flush with the floor. You don't really get anywhere with it. The next thing you hear is two blood-curdling cries of two other people, and Esmeralda's like, oh shit, did you have people still outside?
No one would care about.
They were the druids that were torturing Pierre, so...
Oh, well, alright, then fuck them.
God, we're just berserk about it.
I mean, what can we do?
And also, fuck those guys anyway.
I mean, let's be real, they were spare blood. That's what they were.
Yeah. Shall we head up now? Not that this garden isn't nice, but I'd rather place more faith in the height difference from the door than the enchantments on the door.
Right.
Fair enough.
Yeah, everyone take a step onto the center elevator. It may take a bit of time. It's a hand crank. Sorry.
We all look at Beloved.
Yeah. Then does little
This is
side
how
elbow.
the
Beloved
elevator
stares
breaks.
back blankly.
Whoa, that was all the talks.
All right, come along, nurse. We're no good helping out over here.
As usual, Beloved will do whatever Dr. Pepper says, so she picks up her skirt and follows after.
Very
Str-
good then.
yeah. As everyone gets on board, Esmeralda does go to a crank and she starts to crank it.
Yep.
Surprisingly, it's not very strenuous for her, but the elevator is pretty slow.
Esmeralda, crank that soldier boy.
I know what that is.
That's why I did it, yeah.
Yeah. As you, the next floor, after a good solid minute, you come up to what looks to be like a kind of like a living room esque like room. It looks as though it's been under a lot of maintenance. Like you can instantly see that there's are fresh planks of wood that now line the floor. There's nothing. There what looks to be like outlines of what used to be molded and like crusty, like floorboards and other like cobwebs that are still kind of clinging to the wall. But in fact, on this level, you do see that there is a very hastily boarded up wall against the what would normally be stone. She says, "This actually gives us a pretty good view if we need to look outside." So,
All right, well, let's take a gander out over there. Pulls out some opera glasses and peers through.
yeah,
Well,
as you,
help me out.
Mustard Seed will take watch for sure.
Let's just all peek outside, like 'cause she
Yeah.
said so.
yeah.
Like a bunch of perverts.
As you all look through the boards, this opening is actually kind of hidden underneath another foliage that wraps around the tower, but it
Oh.
still provides enough viewing area to look out in front of the tower. It is just a sea of wolves that are running to and from about. You can see some of the Druid Grove defenses have activated and is shooing away as many as they can, but the sheer number of these wolves are stifling. She says,
I'm gonna nudge Beloved. Be like,
Say that again?
I said I'm gonna nudge Beloved because we've got enough room for her to stick her spear out, right?
I
It's,
mean,
like, high up now.
she's on the
Yeah.
second floor. There's no way she can reach any wolf.
I mean, you'd have
No,
to
I'm
like
trying to
type
keep-
three.
That sounds like a challenge to me.
I'm not trying to. I don't want her to hit any wolves. It's like, hold it out as far and as straight as you can. I want to test something, and I'm basically gonna walk the plank and see how far away from the building I have to get my wings back.
Beloved will glance at Dr. Pepper's and then decide, yeah, okay, this seems reasonable. She carefully sticks out Honeymoon as far as she can, and she's got a decent reach because she's a tall lady, and holds the spear as steady as is physically possible,
All right.
so that Simu probably will not fall over if his
Just-
wings don't come back.
But just in case, let's tie a rope around his little waist and tie it to like her wrist or something like that.
Yeah.
Get some yarn and tie it around his waist like Tinkerbell.
Aw.
Just, oh man, I suddenly forgot the name of the toy. Oh well.
Oh, the little flying fairy thing.
Oh, that's not even what I was thinking about. I would think the kendama is what I was thinking about. The little cup and ball toy that you flip around with there's a string attached to it and you try to catch it.
Ball in a cup. It's a ball in a cup.
All right, Shem, as you walk the plank across Honeymoon, the moment you are outside of like the encumbrance of like the stonework, you feel your wings charge back into action.
Oh.
Does Esmeralda react at all to seeing the creepy spectral stuff come out of him?
She does give a okay. So yeah, fairy. That makes sense.
Well, I guess we're saved.
For now.
It'll take a while for the grove to shoo away these wolves. I've been dealing with them for quite some time now.
Is it
Like
always
the-
such a deluge of wolves?
No, and not till recently, if I'm being completely honest. She goes over to like a makeshift like pallet made into like a chair off to the side. She rolls up her pant leg and starts adjusting the prosthetic at the knee.
Yeah, can we like take a look at that? Like, how advanced is it, or is it just like wood leg?
It's very ornate. It looks to be the. If you had to take a guess, even from just a glance, this seems to be a mastercraft of sorts.
Is it like clockwork pieces in it, or is it just like?
I'll take a look. I'll take a look. I'm a doctor after all, and if there's one thing a doctor knows, it's mechanics.
Yeah, go ahead. Because you're a doctor, roll medicine, purely for the sake that this is indeed a prosthetic.
Oh my god, that's so bad.
I'll give you the advantage because of your background.
Beloved was actually inspecting the window, and I would like to take 1 point of damage as she leaned too close to it and bonked her head really hard.
Okay. You push your head in a little bit too deep, and you don't realize the nail that's kind of sticking out to the side. And you're like, "Ow, son of a bitch!"
Oh god.
Winchester.
Ew, my ears. Ew.
But yeah,
Oh no.
with a 20 in medicine, Dr. Pepper, this prosthetic is immaculate. Something like this
Immaculate.
is something that you could only hope that someone would donate to like the medical ward if you could ever get the chance. So many people are just fine with just using a wooden plank, but this prosthetic, it's able to move with the person. It counterbalances as they walk, being able to go heel to toe and toe to heel. She has full mobility no matter what she does. And because she still has her elbow, she's able to keep the majority of her mobility intact.
Huh.
It has a lot of it's not magical, but with the amount of like clockwork gear and counterbalances inside of this thing, it might as well be.
Ooh, that saves a lot of time on accidental curses when it is magic.
Yeah.
Huh.
A couple of months back, those damn wolves. I tripped and I fell, and they got a good bite in. I didn't have a lot of time to. Well, I had to choose. Not a lot of people can cure lycanthropy on the regular in Barovia. So I had to make a choice. Rubs
You
her.
said you were bitten.
Yeah, luckily, it's been months now, so I'm fairly certain I didn't contract lycanthropy. If only for the chance of me chopping my own leg off.
If I may ask, how long has it been since a full moon has come here?
She said several months, so.
The last full moon was about 2 weeks ago.
And do full moons operate on a normal cycle here, or is it like advanced darkness?
Uh, somewhat advanced darkness. You get the feeling that the moon may not be, may not rely on science and more like rely on, magic within, Barovia.
Vibes.
The vibes, so to speak. But yeah, she'll continue and say, I was out of commission for a while. But, thankfully, I know a very good tinkerer down in, Valaki.
That wouldn't happen to be the puppet man, would it?
Yeah, she, rolls up more of her sleeve and you see, Blinsky's, fucking slogan written across the top.
What's his slogan?
Blinsky and you'll miss it.
No, it's, fuck, damn it, I do this every time. Damn it.
Just kind of flips his dagger, kind of like greaser style, and flashes a little insignia on it. It's like, he does pretty good with detail work.
It's something like, if it's not fun, it's not Blinsky's, or something like that.
Yeah.
He's, does wonders when you provide him with enough materials. Thankfully, there was some old parts here in the tower that I was able to recycle.
Didn't we take like a couple of cutting chunks? Like, I know that Mustard Seed got like an actual armor piece, but don't we have like extra pieces if we ever make our way back that way to get a smaller model commissioned?
Very easily at this point. I mean, you definitely have the money for it now. Because you, in party loot, you guys do have like 1,200 gold.
Oh.
Fun.
We probably should. Yeah. Well, while we're here, we can split that.
Yeah, we could have our little fairy get a giant mech suit at that rate.
But it would just be like
He's forming into one giant mega person.
Or to us, a normal sized person.
Yeah.
A little on the short side.
Some of those battle bots.
Pocket robot, yeah.
She's just operating a Roomba that builds into a Voltron.
It has a knife taped to it.
Yeah, it's just a knife Roomba.
The most deadly kind of Roomba.
So
Doomba.
So this room is also like anti-magic, right?
Yeah, the whole tower is allegedly full anti-magic.
So, if I may ask,
That does count for. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll ask, Esmeralda. So, why is there? Does the anti-magic in here block things getting in as well?
Yeah, I remember my master saying that this used to be an old wizard's tower, a very powerful one at that. Apparently, the wizard was the only one capable of casting magic in here. It was a means of, maybe being a little bit spiteful to the lord of these lands.
He deserved it.
Just nod to that, yeah.
Have a stupid idea when there's a good time for it.
Can I, like, study the runes in this tower to see if, like, I can figure out what maybe we can do to, like, bypass it?
I'll say you can study them, but the DC for, like, how to, like, bypass them is going to be incredibly high.
I figured, but I have, like, the researcher part of Sage, so I feel like that might help a little bit.
Alrighty. I'll say that gives you advantage.
So, Arcana?
Yes.
22.
22.
So it's a start.
It's a start, but you get the feeling this is going to be a very long process to decipher this.
Well, we got nothing but time right now.
Yeah. With
Yeah.
it seems as though every single brick of this place is lit up with a certain glyph. Even with the tower kind of falling apart in some parts, there's still enough residual anti-magic within each of the rest of the tower to keep it stable.
Huh. Does it have a bathroom at least?
Oh, third floor.
Nice.
Oh, there's another
Yeah.
floor then.
Yeah, nothing but
Wait.
floors.
Yeah.
Floors all the way up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as you look up, you do realize there are 4 floors to this tower.
What's the fourth floor?
The fourth
Fourth
floor,
floor is
Esmeralda will say, the top floor is the bedroom, the master bedroom. Third floor is kitchen, general living space. I use the second floor as a watch and general work bench area. It's kind of open floor plan at the moment. The base floor is where we keep our herbs. And garden.
I've got some questions actually. Seems like we glossed over it. You make it sound like the wolves are a fairly recent occurrence.
Well, they are a very recent issue that's kind of exploded as of late.
Loaded.
No, when or how or that happened?
Well, allow me to explain. I was given this task by my master as a means of providing aid where he couldn't. He was busy with more pressing matters.
You can't be in 2 places at once. Got it.
Exactly. It's common knowledge here in Barovia that some werewolves have a tendency to steal children throughout the night. There are those who get lost in the woods or even lost throughout the mist. Even distant lands of other individuals getting caught up and brought here. Chasing werewolves and whatnot, as she looks over towards Johnny. My goal was to figure out what the hell was happening, see if I can maybe rescue what I can. It was then where, about 3 months ago, I was approached by a couple. A werewolf couple, so to speak.
Oh, that's cute. Wait.
Apparently, within their pack, there's been some conflict of interest, so to speak. As she says that, Mustard Seed, with your passive perception, you immediately hear a chill run through. As all the wolves outside begin to howl in unison.
Oh no.
Hey, look at Isaac. Is he doing okay?
No, he's going fetal position on the floor.
Oh.
He can set this one out. So I have a question for you, DM for that. My phone a friend perk is still set to history, which means that if I do my communion with Ghost, I can get proficiency on history. Which I asked because could I ask them if they know anything about the wolf pack?
You can, but it'll be a hard DC because the spirits. I'll say yes, but I do believe that ability is still on cooldown at the moment. Because remember, you haven't gotten your long rest yet.
Yeah.
It's not a cooldown. It's just every time I do a long or short rest, I can change the proficiency that's tied to it. Let me get the actual thingy-majig because I don't think there's a. It's just every time I take a rest, I change the proficiency tied to it.
Okay.
It should already be set to history.
Yeah, It's been on history for like the
Oh.
last several days.
Oh, okay.
Same time.
Then yeah.
So, just to clarify, are the wolves like fixing to break in?
No, they seem to be signaling something.
Okay.
Is it a trebuchet?
Yes. A wolf catapult is about to hurl some dire wolves into the tower. It's a siege.
My God.
That werewolf.
But as that is happening, Esmeralda goes quiet as she listens towards the outside. And you all hear a snarl rip through. As you hear a gentle whistle echo out as you hear someone approach.
Someone with two eyes. Take a peek.
As those who have the better eyes you peer through the wall, the gaps in the walls, you see what has to be the biggest fucking werewolf you have ever seen, sauntering over towards the tower, as the pack of wolves just like the Red Sea just part in his way.
Anyone got some silver by chance?
I gesture to the sword that Esmeralda is carrying.
Maybe.
Also, technically, you too. I mean, my dagger's silver, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna insight this werewolf. Because if these guys are acting in a sort of civilized manner that they are willing to part like the Red Sea for this guy as he approaches the door, it's like, how civil is this guy? Or is he like, are they
Rude.
just bringing in the big guns?
With insight, yes, Reed?
Oh, I was just about to say, you can go ahead with the insight. I just want to ask, what do I roll with regards to setting up the spear, like, in case Beloved wants to throw it at the wolf leader?
You would effectively just have to you would have to line it up with the gap in the wall, but it's going to be with
Right.
disadvantage, and he's going to have like three fourths cover because you're firing from like a gap in the wall.
I think Jen sees this and he takes the rope that was tied around his waist and attaches it to the hilt of the spear instead.
You could also fly down there and stab him in the eye.
I could, but then I can't get back. I also, since we have this guy here, can I turn my history check that I was going to do on the family and do it on this guy specifically? See if my buddies know anything?
We'll get to that in a minute because it's a little bit more cinematic mode at the moment.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
As this werewolf stands on either, walks up towards the tower, clutching sickles in both hand as he looks up to the tower and says, "Esmeralda, I smell your filth in there. How would you stop running and come out and play?" Esmeralda remains quiet as she clutches her knee.
Boobs?
No,
Knee.
her knee. Like her
Oh, okay, you cut off right there.
Sorry. You've been... I would figure that you'd already figured out that we don't take kindly to you sticking your nose into other people's business. You audibly hear him lick his chops a little bit. After sinking my teeth into that little ankle of yours, I wouldn't mind getting my teeth wet on what's left of you.
Did she already explain what her deal is with the werewolves are and their beef with her?
I mean,
She explained that she got her leg bit off and she had to cut it off.
Well, I mean, like, did she explain why she was supposedly spying on them?
They're kidnapping children, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
I stick my head out. Esmeralda won't be seeing any clients today. Could I take a message maybe and see about booking an appointment tomorrow, next week? Remember?
Ooh, I smell bird.
I'm a doctor, sir. I didn't spend 15 years in medical school for nothing. It's a 2-year vocation, by the way.
Oh,
Wonderful.
There's a whole bouquet of them.
We'd expect nothing less.
You have quite the feast in here.
If I may ask, how many werewolves besides this guy are out there? Like,
Uh,
how big of an army?
Well, apart from the sea of dire wolves, that with your passive perception, Mustard Seed, you begin to notice something strange. These seemingly endless tide of wolves. You start to realize that they're not actually wolves; they're more specter-like.
Oh.
They've been summoned by some
They're
sort.
spoopy?
They're spoopy. They're spoopy wolves.
Summoned wolves.
As you peer off to the distance, you can actually spot about 14 dire wolves and at least 3 other werewolves. They're not as big as him, but werewolves are werewolves.
Yeah.
Quick, do we have any grapes we could feed them?
Oh, I see.
Actually, we might. We just visited a vineyard.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, we were at the vineyard. This is a tower in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well,
Operation Grapes of Wrath did not go.
Well, maybe we could use the wine.
the wolf will speak up and say, "I'll make this clear for you one more time, Esmeralda. If I catch you anywhere near this den again, you're not getting away again." As he gets you
Great.
actually watch as one of the bushes just kind of like smacks him off the side of the head. He goes, and he slashes at the bush that slapped him.
Oh, we got bushwhacked.
Okay. Gray, I do not want to interrupt your cinematic, but I did roll a natural 20 on the stealth. So, Beloved is like all set to throw a spear at him.
All right. I mean, do you want to throw that spear? As a reminder, it does not have returning
I
on it.
always want to choose violence, Gray. I always want to choose violence.
Yeah.
All right.
Would we handing her rope earlier do anything?
Yeah, can we tie it so she can like harpoon and pull it back?
I mean, yeah.
Ooh,
If you guys
actually, that's a good idea.
if you want to do that,
She was prepared to just sacrifice it, but
I mean, you
It would-
already had the rope tied to my guy,
All right.
so he just pulled the rope off and tied it to the thing.
Yeah. All right.
okay. Gray, I do want to do this, but I also respect you as a DM, so I don't want to ruin your whole thing if this is like a last level boss and she gets a crit right to his heart.
I
So,
mean, I'll
Do
I'll
it.
tell you this much: you're not going to kill him in one shot. But if you
Okay.
wanna do this, by all means, go for it. All right, 23. Because you're doing it from perfect crit stealth, it's not that natural 1 on the other end, so it just balances out. The 23 hits.
Yeet.
Beloved, who was kind of ignoring this entire conversation, is just riveted to this guy as a target and has been carefully aiming her spear through a gap in the wall the whole time, just letting Simu tie the rope to it before she rears her arm back and just launches it like a harpoon.
All right, lining up like a freaking pull cue. You line up perfectly with the gap in the wall, and with one hand you basically slam it down through, and basically harpoon this thing directly towards this werewolf. As a reaction, he does not. Let's see.
He was nat 20, so there's no way he saw that coming.
He's completely caught off guard by this, so I'm not gonna say he's gonna get his reaction off to parry this. Go ahead and roll damage as you hit him square in the chest.
Oh, jeez.
He was not in a werewolf.
So wait, she
Alright.
chucked it at him?
Yeah, like through a gap in the tower.
Oh, shit. Damn, how is she gonna get it back?
Yeah, we tied a rope to it.
Alright.
Yeah.
All right, 5. It's got that 5 piercing, and I do believe the other one is for if you kill him and get that bonus back to you. Or no, that's two-handed.
So,
So it has to be the
Yeah. Well, regardless of that, it also does drain some of his blood, so he gets to feel the spear actually drinking his own vital fluids as it pierces him.
Now the gloves on the other foot, asshole.
All right. With because this is a magical spear, he does indeed take the 5 damage, which catches him quite off guard because werewolf. They're impervious to any non-magical slashing, piercing, bludgeoning.
Etc.
He lets out a massive growl and says, "Pinche just yanks it out of his chest and throws it back. Do you reel back the spear?
Yes, absolutely. She quickly pulls it back in, and by all means, it looks like she's going to go through for another throw before someone stops her.
He immediately, as a reaction to being attacked, the spectral wolves begin to hurl themselves towards the tower, ready to siege it. But as they do so, the tower itself acts defensively, and another crack of lightning just erupts around the entire tower, singeing away what left of the what wolves were too close. As the werewolf says, "This isn't over. This isn't over, bitch. You'll get yours in time." As he quickly scanters off before you get another shot in on him.
How's that for pot calling the kettle black?
Yes. Wonderful job there, nurse. Amazing precision. I should have you assist me in some endoscopy later.
Alright.
That hurts to think about.
Beloved looks
Wow.
as blank as ever, but she is very pleased about this.
Yes,
It
that's
sounds like a
her.
real pain in the ass, if you ask me.
What?
I said that sounds like a real pain in the ass, if you ask me.
Now, beloved has a very miffed, blank expression.
Well, as you say, he's a lot more mad than when he came.
Well,
Yeah, he sounded like you have more than a little bit of history. Is there anything there, or
that big bad wolf back out there happens to be the pact leader of the local werewolf den. His name is Kirill. Kiril.
Hey, hang on. Hold on.
He is well, for lack of better a term, the alpha, so to speak. He's the one who's been, well, it was his decision to start kidnapping children. And from what I was able to learn, it's He does it in a very grotesque way, so to speak. It's one of
Have
the
you been able to confirm why he's been doing this?
to add to their numbers.
I'm sure that they would want to become a werewolf.
From what I've been able to from what I've been able to study, werewolves are, well, the werewolves here in Barovia. They're somewhat infertile. It's very difficult for them to have children of their own that are not immediately, well,
Stillborn.
exactly. The curse is too much for them while they're still within the womb. On top of that, when you transform into a wolf, every month or so, it's not very healthy for the child.
Fair.
I can't imagine any kind of curse would be healthy.
Well, this werewolf pact has been on the decline for quite some time. Apparently, about 40 or 50 years ago, a large number of the werewolves that used to populate Barovia were just disappeared mysteriously.
I am a stranger to these lands. What exactly is the significance of these werewolves living here? And quite frankly, why should we even care about their plight?
Well, like I said, they are more than likely not. It's not something to be pitied. They're werewolves. It's a curse. Some people some people just have to live with it, and others, well, they relish in it. They're no different than any vampire that exists here in Barovia, so to speak. It's a means of survival in these harsh lands. But I digress. The main issue right now is that they have been stealing children to replenish their numbers for the long run. That way, from what I've learned, Kirill would he wants strong new pups. Those that are capable. Every child that is kidnapped and brought into their fold are placed into a ring. And they're forced to... Well, two kids go in, one comes out, and they become the werewolf that joins the pack.
I see.
It's quite a pack.
And you found this information out yourself?
I had an insider help me. Two, in fact.
The couple you mentioned earlier?
Yes. Their
And
name...
are they still around?
Well, one of them is... Emil. Their names were Emil and... What's her name? Zaliaka. I don't know how to pronounce this name.
Can you spell it?
Z-U-L...
Close enough.
Zuleika.
Zalika, yeah.
Zalika.
Okay, yeah.
Emil and Zalika. Zalika being the female, and Emil being one of the more stronger males within the wolf den. He actually opposed the idea. He was... With how gruesome it is, kidnapping children is one thing, but forcing them to kill each other at such a young age is, well, distasteful even for them. They would much rather...
And yet here we are.
Yeah, they are. They would have much rather prefer that they simply keep all the children alive and add to their numbers, but apparently Kirill doesn't want weakness in the den, nor does he have the means of controlling an expanded amount of werewolves. Or so he used to say. One day, Kirill simply disappeared. People thought maybe Emil had killed him off when they were alone, or he just wandered off not wanting to deal with anyone challenge him anymore.
How long has this Kirill been the pack leader?
For as long as anyone can really remember, he's certainly the oldest and strongest.
So this is a recent change of heart on his part.
Well, he's always kept. He's been keeping up this routine for quite some time. If
Oh, he's always been kidnapping.
yeah,
Okay, never mind.
it's only been
Sounds like
recently. It's only been recently with Emil being strong enough to actually oppose him did he actually start voicing his concern. One day, Kirill disappeared. It was days before he actually showed back up. People were going to assume that Emil would then step up as the new Alpha, or the new Pact leader. But then Kirill returned, changed. He was a lot more powerful. He had those strange wolves that he was able to summon. Apparently, he made a deal with Strahd.
Of course.
Of course.
In exchange for power, he would keep the status quo. More importantly, Emil could not be left to oppose him. He was chained and dragged off to Strahd's keep. I don't know if he's still alive, but well, hard to say. I would have kept more tabs on the situation, but when Kirill had returned, well, she looks at her leg.
Is Zulika still alive?
She's still alive. She was actually the one I've been trying to get in contact with. She is apparently under house arrest. She's not allowed to go hunting or anything.
Well, yes, she's the Upriser's mate, so theoretically, by all accounts, she should have the same motivations as he did.
Yeah. And thankfully, Kirill doesn't see her as a threat, but does see her as insubordinate. She has to be careful or could suffer a similar fate. She's actually in charge of watching over the children. She's somewhat of a holy woman, if one holy woman could ever be a werewolf, if that's were a thing.
I mean,
There's all kinds of gods out there.
exactly. I don't see why not. Where she could be as forsaken as any other cleric in this land.
Mustard Seed this whole time is sort of like fuming out loud to himself, albeit like without raising his voice, as he pretty much says,
So you're telling me he goes to make a deal with Strahd for immense power and is granted, yet I ask him simply to go home and... yeah.
Trouble.
Probably because he didn't bend the knee. Kirill is no more than a lapdog in the eyes of Strahd. A very powerful lapdog, and one that keeps many people of Barovia in constant fear and in check.
Burn glances at Irina. What if Kirill threatened something that Strahd wanted? Do you think he would lose the powers?
Well, potentially. But if he's as much of a lapdog to Strahd, odds are he may be on the hunt for whatever Strahd's looking for right now. Listen, I'll get right to the chase. You guys are looking for my master, Van Richten. Is that right?
Yes, that is. I think we were told his name, right?
yes. We were originally going there, but we took this detour with the Wizards of the Line.
Yeah, because we knew that another ally of Pierre's was here, and maybe they could join forces and hear the good news that Pierre was still alive and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we did it.
We did it.
With
But
Hooray!
with that in
now we found
mind,
another side quest. Sorry.
with that in mind, I can get you an audience with him, but he's been in hiding. He can't risk exposing himself. I could, I think you all can imagine why he would be in hiding, given the fact that, well, vampire hunters aren't exactly, welcome
Respected.
here. Yeah.
I would like to meet him. I have some information he might like to hear.
That would be great. So, yeah, I'll tell you what. If you guys manage to help me with my little werewolf problem here, or at the very least get this werewolf den to either chill the fuck out or, well, put an end to it.
Disband.
Yeah, we'll need to disband this troop.
That's quite the task you ask of us.
If we can rescue those children and get them out of there, I'll personally get you to Van Richten. As I am right now, I'm still getting used to shaking off the dust, so to speak. She pats her leg again. Well, I'm capable, but even I can't handle a threat like this. We have to do something about Curiel.
Yes.
Sort of float over to Burn and be like, "What do you know about summon magic? Is there any way we can turn off his reinforcement?"
I can think about it with my handy dandy Arcana skill, because I don't think I have any summon spells, do I? Not yet, but yeah, I can roll Arcana to see like how could you disrupt, like I assume it's called conjuration magic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's go, please be good. Yay!
25. Alright. You understand that the majority of conjuration magic is based on teleporting something from wherever over towards where you are currently. Nothing, you can't really summon something from nothing, so to speak.
Yeah, you're summoning something there, you're not creating it.
Exactly. Whatever these wolf-like specter beings are, more than likely they are something that Strahd has summoned for him. You're aware that being a vampire, even in the past, Strahd has the ability to just conjure up wolves to aid him in battle. If you had to guess, this is probably where he's getting that. As for disabling it, there must be some sort of boon that he has from Strahd. Maybe a magical item or something like that that you could potentially dispel.
Or just take off of him.
Or just take off him.
Interesting. I explain all that. So,
Depending on what kind of item it is, we may be able to steal it for ourselves.
yeah. I don't think it would work for us because we don't have Strahd's favor. But yes, we could at least rid him of it.
Are the wolves still outside, or did they run off when Curiel did?
Yeah, when Curiel left, like, none of the wolves were like, okay, this place sucks, we need to get out of here. So they left the drove.
Lamau.
Okay. In that case, Beloved is going to try to leave the tower.
Okay. You
I'm gonna
lower the elevator down and you step outside. Esmeralda does say, someone go with her just in case. As,
I'm definitely going, but I'm gonna keep to the shadows.
Alright. As Esmeralda does say, you're,
Beloved,
she'll say, you don't have to give me an answer now, but I get the feeling that all of you look a little tapped. You're free to stay the night here in the tower as you recover. But I hope that you'll really consider lending a hand with this.
Mm-hmm.
all right. Now, I don't want to interrupt anyone else's special turns, but Beloved
Go
is going
for
to try and do her thing.
You first. Go.
So she is going to set out the 4 weapons: proposal, devotion, engagement, and honeymoon on the floor in the middle of the Druid's Grove. And she's going to step back and then use one of the wooden stakes to try and kind of clumsily carve a holy symbol into the ground. Except, sorry, no one is going to recognize that as a holy symbol because she's shitty at art. So
Hey, I like it, actually. I mean, is there any way I can sort of check and see if I know what's going on? Like,
You can roll a religion.
right?
yeah,
See if I
she's going to roll a
recognize-
religion to try and carve the holy symbol.
So I got a 24 religion on.
Holy,
That was not actually interesting. I-
With 24, Shem, you get the general vibe where Beloved is going with. You're like, okay, I can fill in the blanks.
Beloved draws the circle. You draw the finer details.
Yeah, that's basically it. He's kind of like sticking to the shadows, but when she's setting up the ritual, he's like, "That's not gonna work," and he'll just like casually like fix the edges when she's not looking.
Beloved absolutely fails to notice that someone is fixing her ritual.
All right, you have your weapons.
If anyone else wants to try and join in, they are more than welcome, but she will attempt this by herself. If no one else does anything.
Well, Mustard Seed doesn't know anything about Elistray. How do you pronounce that?
Elistray.
Elistray. He doesn't know anything about this goddess, so if anything, he's just going to hide and just watch and observe, like the creepy rabbit man he is.
I'll help out.
That's totally cool.
I'm sure I still got some wine, some grape juice.
All
Mhm.
right. As
I mean, that would work if you want to offer that as part of the ritual.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I would like to help with this, but as I said, he's sort of taking a backseat, but he's kind of like backseat driving. So like, mechanically, I don't want to give you help because my stat's much higher. So if you can, I can help with my religion because I don't think you have proficiency in that, do you?
actually,
I absolutely do not. My religion is 0.
oh,
Yeah.
my religion is 4.
Yeah. Theranar was the religious one of the pair.
Mhm.
Well,
Alright,
I mean, I got a gold ring or a human skin bag. What kind of what are they into?
I said the ring might be better
well-
there for this.
The problem is that Beloved can't even articulate the name of her god without, her current shitty voice. So she's stuck with just trying to roll religion repeatedly in order to get this unnamed goddess's blessings. Yeah. See, she is so bad at this.
Oh,
Since
Yeah.
Shem's clock, which
If,
goddess is it, right?
well, I mean, thanks to Simu, it's become more obvious that this is, a holy symbol and that she's trying to do some kind of ritual, but the exact details are still unknown because she can't say it, and it's not like anyone can read her mind. But an insight check would probably reveal, okay, to someone who's not Simu, would reveal, yes, she is trying to bless her weapons because, fighting vampires.
Did you say read your mind?
Well, I want you to.
I will say. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, shit.
I want this to succeed, and my character is very well versed in rituals. So I mean, I don't want to step on your toes, but I mean, if he can see what you're doing, he can probably set the ritual up for you in such a way that basically serve as a middleman. Because
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I will say that Beloved is intentionally trying to keep her difficulty in passing this is very low. So Dr. Peppers will be able to detect, okay, it's a nude elf goddess with swords, the patron of her groom, whose name is Elistrae, and she is trying to get her blessings despite not being a priest, not being properly attired, not having most of the important details, but she's got faith, and she's very much attached to the soul of her groom, who is currently with Elistrae.
Oh. Yeah, all right. Good to know. Takes finger off of forehead. Also, we really should wash off some of that nail blood from when you bonked the window.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, actually, she's kind of disgusting. A bath would probably be good for her.
Yeah, we'll
But
disinfect you after
but yes, between Simu and Dr. Pepper, they can fill in the gaps of, okay, this is the goddess, this is what she's trying to do, and yes, if everyone wants to work together here, we might be able to have something.
Okay.
yeah, I mean, seeing that she doesn't have the skills or most of the materials to do an actual ritual, I think he knows enough to be able to make the ritual for her, and maybe he's got his own array of religious symbols. I don't know if any of them are actually her goddess, but if nothing else, he can put a word in with his goddess and see if that they can do an intermediary.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So, by doing this, this is going to be taking part of your long rest, training montage. Uh,
Gotta have a montage.
this, with the aid of both, Dr. Pepper and Shem helping you, I will allow you to give me. The fact that you're doing it here also adds a factor to it. So, Reed, I would like you to give me a D100.
Yes.
Before he does
Okay.
that, any ideas on how mustard seed can contribute to this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember that Dr. Peppers has the information. Shem has the expertise in religion, but you could potentially blend both of their skills here and coordinate this group effort.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, can I roll something to know what the hell Illustrates general domain is.
Give me religion to see how well you know.
8.
Common knowledge. You don't know a lot. You know that she is a drow goddess, one of the good ones, to be more precise. That is like specifically her thing. But with your, I guess, background as a hunter, you do remember one thing about her. Within her portfolio of all of her different things that she's known for, hunting was one of them.
Okay.
By the way, I'm here. If the coast is clear, one moment, and I'm gonna step outside and how quickly can I like find like a squirrel or a tiny hare or some measure of like
I mean, there are a
small
bunch of bloody
minuscule.
bones over by the cart.
Well, yeah, but you know, it would probably be more favor if I actually hunted it.
Yeah. Go ahead and give a survival check real fast.
All right. I'm good at this.
Nice.
Okay, 19.
It's like one moment. Zoop.
Yeah, because you are indeed a druid inside a druid grove. The wildlife here is a little more active and friendly. But you know, I'd say you find a small. Oh, it's a little morbid, but you do find a little rabbit, a wild hare for you to take a pot shot at.
I
It's like
feel
that-
nothing.
It's like that clip of the girl who's playing like
No.
This is the
the-
cutest fucking thing I've ever seen.
think.
Oh my god.
You know what they say?
Hey,
Get today, gone tomorrow.
now,
yeah, I go
before you
ahead
finish
and-
that, remember that she is a good aligned goddess, so you don't have to kill the thing if you don't want to.
Oh. All right. Well, in that case, I have a different idea.
It can just be
Um,
symbolic hunting.
Yeah. I'll say, in that case, my symbology will be, since she is a good aligned drow, I will cast Good Berry on the ground, and the
Right.
Good Berry will manifest in the style of, like, you see, like, the leaf part of a carrot manifest, and then he pulls it out of the ground to have a carrot, and then he's just like, here. And just puts it down at the altar with the idea that it's like, you know, it is of the earth and the natural domain of the drow is of the earth.
I guess I'll have Burn help somewhat, but there's not much he can really do to help with a ritual like this. But if I step out of the tower and my magic returns, or works again, can I like send a ping out? I know my best friend, who has remained nameless in this story so far. We know who it is.
My buddy.
He's been all over the place. Can he like just be like a switchboard operator for like 2 seconds?
Can you
just
do me a
Look,
solid?
you saw her religion rolls. You can't possibly do any worse than she's doing, so
Exactly.
anything would help. Anyway,
All right.
but if the whole team is here, then I'm prepared to make my D100 roll.
All right. Yeah,
Alright.
you have the whole party providing one means or another. Even Johnny he's beginning to add, I guess, music to it as well. He knows a few songs that help for this. Esmeralda's like, okay, you guys are doing a thing. I'll let you do your thing. She's like, what the fuck is happening?
It'll hopefully help us with the werewolves. Just watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
30.
30.
Dirty 30.
All right. I am going to roll a D100 as well. If I roll lower than you, then you get to roll again.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. What does this mean?
23. Roll one more time.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Uh,
I don't know if I'll be able to roll lower than that, but I'll give it a shot.
double one.
47. Okay. All right. I'll paint the picture.
Oh no.
It explodes. Just everything explodes.
As you are currently trying to perform this ritual, one that you are not very familiar with, and one that, for a goddess that you have very limited experience with, even with your dear husband that you love so dearly, you continue on trying to perform this ritual. Burn, for a brief moment, your eye under your patch, it flickers.
Mm-hmm.
You look up to the tower, and magically, a magical beacon is lit up.
Oh.
It's like,
Oh.
almost like looking at a lighthouse.
Yeah.
And for the briefest of moments, the clouds above begin to part, and you see the moon hovering above. But as you continue to do this ritual, these prayers, stuff that you've heard offhand from your husband, beloved, something shifts. The connection, it's not strong enough. And Burn and Shem, you realize something.
What?
These lands, there is already a goddess that presides over the night. You don't believe that. You don't believe. You don't believe this Draug, the Dark Maiden, has enough sway over these lands to provide blessings without a proper cleric helping. And instead,
Oh no.
you seem to gather the attention of the Night Mother.
I mean, if she's willing to help out too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mother Night. As the moon, for the briefest of moments, turns from a crescent moon to a new moon. The sky goes dark. You see just this ever slightest outline of the moon above. You have garnered the attention of a goddess. One that is not truly evil, but not truly good. She simply is.
Huh? She'd like to see something cool? Or see us stir the pot a little bit?
She is truly the shadow of the hedgehog of goddesses.
Beloved,
I've got good news and bad news.
Love it.
Yes.
you feel an urge wash over you. You look down upon the back of your left palm.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I'm doing
Wyatt.
just why did you're
Closed
sorry.
it.
Thank you. You look down. You feel an etch onto the back of your palm. You look down. There is a mark. At first, you thought it was like a bruise or something, but then it starts to take shape. It's in the shape of a ring, one that you recognize as a moon. In the back of your head, you hear this. 10 days.
Boy.
Last time she only gave 7. That's a step up.
10 days.
I was originally going to say 7, but I was like, no, that's too close
Oh,
to...
no.
Yeah, that's too close to the ring. So, here's how this is going to go. Beloved, you have 10 days to impress the Mother Knight. If you do so, you'll be given a blessing. Doesn't matter what you do, but whatever you do, do it in the name of her, and she will provide you something.
Oh, dang, she should have seen that awesome trick shot earlier.
And I'm guessing there's going to be a penalty if she fails?
You don't know, but you get the distinct feeling that if you... It's maybe implied that it may be a bad idea if you don't. She's very much a goddess of don't waste my time. She's not evil, she's not
Okay.
good, but you better not fuck around with her. Otherwise, you're gonna find out.
Go punch Strahd in the face. That'll
No,
impress her.
no. I mean, this is the type of woman who hears the word dare and doesn't even wait for you to finish the sentence. So, challenge accepted.
She probably doesn't even have to try. She just has to do.
Yeah. Beloved certainly
Now-
is an extraordinary woman. You're bound to get something out of this. But
Well,
yeah.
I did not accomplish what I wanted to, but I genuinely thank everyone for helping in Beloved's ritual. Thank you
Yeah.
all very much.
Maybe we'll get something even better out of it.
Yeah.
Mustard sees like,
Who can say?
you can eat that carrot if you want.
She will absolutely eat that carrot. She was wanted to eat the wolves so much, and she is so hungry.
Well, all of her hunger has immediately faded away because it is a good berry.
That is so kind of you. Beloved will rise to her feet, stalk slowly over to you, and raise one fist and very lightly punch your shoulder.
Probably enough monkey healed.
Excuse me?
She just stares at you silently.
I think it's a gesture of camaraderie.
Can I roll an insight on Beloved?
Please do.
Sure. Shit! 13. My passive is 14.
Okay. Yeah, she is. As always, she is just filled with grief and rage, but that was a genuine attempt to say thank you.
He's gonna very awkwardly look to both sides and then much more awkwardly and with much less force give Beloved a punch on the shoulder? Eh.
She thinks you're friends now.
We're having soft tacos.
We're having some tacos later.
I'm having soft tacos right now.
It was fake.
Okay. Beloved will gather up her weapons and head into the tower because it is definitely time to sleep. She also kind of offhandedly scoops up Dr. Pepper's in order to take him with her because she doesn't trust him outside without her supervision.
There. It was a good go of it. Better than anything I could have done. What? Why don't we just have a good wash up and get a good rest in? I mean, whoever did anything well after so many days of not sleeping?
Alright.
Fair point.
I wonder if they have any tea in that kitchen. Can I go look as we go back inside?
Oh, absolutely. As you all enter the tower, down on the base floor, you do see tea leaves that are being grown on the western side.
Ooh.
I'll get enough to.
Ooh, this is a
Boy.
good wizard tower.
Yeah.
I'll get us enough to boil enough for everyone.
Yeah. Meanwhile, while beloved you get washed up, why don't we just do a quick little checkup just to assess the damage of that nail hit. Internally, it's everything else, because, yeah, she's banged up.
If actually, it wouldn't be a bad idea for Dr. Peppers to just give everyone a medical checkup now that we
Yeah,
have
might
some
as well.
time and we're not being actively stalked.
There's a
We're
good
gonna be
idea.
here for the night, so
Yeah.
might as well.
With
Yeah.
over the course of a long rest, Dr. Pepper, you're able to look over everybody. Everyone from that fight down in the Druid Circle, it was pretty rough at some parts, but between your medicine and general healing from everybody else, or just temporary hit points that were able to soak up the damage,
Yeah.
everyone seems to be relatively okay.
Oh.
During your look over, Izek is still white as a sheet.
Yeah.
He's
I want
still,
to like try and
yeah.
give him some tea and help him calm down.
Yeah.
Irina gently pats him on the shoulder, his non-stubby shoulder,
Yeah.
and says,
You want-
What happened to his demon arm inside? Is it still there?
"It's still there." But she's going to say, "I get. It's okay. You don't have to deal with this." And it just nods. All
I
right.
think if we stay in here, you should be hidden. No magic can get in or out, so I say to like Irina, referring to like how I typically cast non-detection on and around her every day.
Yeah, she's. Yeah, this is. I imagine this is how. I guess Van Richten stayed under the radar for so long. That being said, I am exhausted. I got struck by lightning today, so I'm gonna pass out.
Sounds good.
All right. Over the course of night, if any of you have any training that you would like to do so now to add your roll.
So I already got my lucky finally. So do we start another one or?
If that is something that you would like to take some downtime to do so. If you are looking for another feat, by all means.
Oh, neat.
Another feat, you say?
Yeah.
Like, if we want to get good at herbalism, get good at our herbs and spices.
Thought you already were, because you're the doctor.
Oh, okay. Well, if there's
no,
nothing
I'm not
else we can
sure.
do there.
But you can find something else. Maybe you could like, if there's a skill you want, we could train on that too.
Well, I have an idea for one, but
What?
I'd actually. Yeah, go ahead.
I thought Zeal was trying to say something.
I said, yeah, I've actually got an idea that I could take on mine, which would be the skilled feat, because I realized that I've been the last feat I got was the dungeon delver to help me detect traps checks, but I have zero proficiency in investigation or perception. So I was like, oh, okay, that is actually very good.
It would be helpful,
Can I?
yeah.
Yeah.
Can I instead
So-
train to be proficient in perception?
Yeah.
Cool. Because that's always
Well,
a
that's kind
valuable
of
skill.
yeah. That's kind of what I was gonna do. Is because the skilled feat lets you take 3 proficiencies. So I was like, I'll do investigation, perception, and something adjacent. Figure it out when I get there.
So
But
we just build then. Yeah.
Alrighty.
do a training on that then.
Pick an appropriate skill check and roll.
Yeah. If I knew what I rolled earlier when I was searching the thing for traps, I would just reuse that. But let's just say he's kind of doing a sweep around the place and just kind of taking a look around. So I have identical stats for investigate and perception. So
Your
8.
tiny fairy
Yeah.
eyes. It's very hard for you to investigate when you can't really fly inside, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was honestly thinking about having him jump out the window, pop his wings out, and then just like spend the night on the roof just hanging out because he does not like having to walk. And nothing can reach him up there, so he'd be kind of quiet and safe.
What about the owls?
Square up, thought.
Yeah, I'll say Burn wants to do also trying to get the skilled feat, just get more proficiencies. But I'll make mine perception, nature, and stealth.
Nice.
So, I think if I can just roll intelligence to like, I don't know, since I'm a divination wizard, like make up scenarios and try to solve them in my head or something like that. Does that work?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
20.
Is that a
Start.
nat 20 or a special 20? Oh, nice.
This is special 20.
Alrighty. You do a lot of mental exercises. You look over notes.
I do a Sudoku puzzle.
Your mind's feeling a little bit sharper.
Hooray.
Oh my.
Oh
Snap.
my.
Mustard Seed, did you have any training that you wanted to do?
Yes, and I'd actually like to have the group's consensus on this. So
Yeah.
I am going to go for another feat because I'm starting from scratch on this one. But I'm
Right.
torn whether or not I should go for alert or for sharpshooter. Alert means I get a +5 to initiative and I can never be surprised, even in a surprise round.
Yeah, yeah.
And then sharpshooter is just a straight up DPS increase. So it's a matter of like, do I want to ensure that I always go first and get those Gloomstalker bonuses? Or do I just want a straight DPS increase?
I'd say alert would be better.
Alright.
Well-
mhm.
So, yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of the feat. Yeah, I think that would be really good. I was looking at the third part of that perk, trying to see if it was useful in any situation where it's like, oh, I think the site updated to the new version because it's slightly different than what you were saying. So it said you can't be surprised while you're unconscious, +5 to initiative, and other creatures don't gain advantage on attacking from stealth on you.
I think that's
Right.
the D&D 1. We're sticking to the 5e.
For now.
Yeah.
Until Gray says otherwise, I guess.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and train for alert. What would I roll for that?
Probably a perception check, since I feel like that would 100% be alerts.
Yeah, I'll say that my training is I am perched at the top of the tower, sort of like trying to will my primeval awareness through the runes, since I'm like above the tower in a way. And, just keep watch, because there's werewolves around, and who knows if they'll come back.
Alrighty.
18.
Good roll, good roll.
To start.
Alright. Beloved did
So,
her
18 and alert.
Beloved did her ritual, and that took part. Dr. Pepper, is there a training that you would like to do?
I ponder while I'm being damsel carried by beloved. Yeah. Well, actually, still being held. I'd like to ask our hostess if she has any lady outfits on hand in her boudoir.
Like a dress and a gown?
Something.
Doc,
I
you're
mean,
in a dress.
I'm sorry?
But Doc, you're already in a dress.
Yeah, kinda. Well, you see, beloved, while it's nice of you to carry a torch for yours and yours alone, it might be healthy or good to keep it safe and not get torn up with battle-heavy combats, let's say. Wouldn't you agree?
She just stares at him blankly.
She agrees. So why don't we try one of our lovely hostesses' outfits on so that we can keep your lovely gown more secure in the time being, and you can more freely get vengeance without worrying about drapery.
So one thing you should already remember, the wedding dress does have a minor enchantment of mending, so
Ah.
it always is in pristine condition.
Ah.
It used to be a bloody mess, but due to her sacrifice to the spear, which you named it honeymoon. The bloodstains are no longer there, so it's mostly just her makeup and general ghoulness that makes her look a little dirty. But yeah, I mean, if you want, you can. Ez does have some casual wear. And it's just like, I don't think anything I have is gonna fit her, but
She's a tall drink of water. I will say that before she had started hanging out with these people, she would never have even considered removing her dress and changing into something else. But at this point, she is willing to humor Dr. Peppers and, you know, change her clothes and take a bath and sleep more than once a week. So, yeah.
Oh, good.
If this is how her new friends vibe, then she will try.
all right. Dr. Pepper, give me a medicine check to help the bride, our beloved, get clean, essentially.
Give that barbarian a sponge bath.
I guess this
oh,
counts
dang,
as
nice.
training my skill in therapy.
So, Dr. Pepper, the bathwater was clean and pristine on the third floor.
Uh-oh.
Oh my.
It was.
It was. The horrors that now reside within that bathtub, Ez is going to say, yeah, God, I really wish I could use prestidigitation in here.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long time before that gets cleaned up properly. But for the first time in a long time, beloved, your skin feels clean. It's still riddled with scars and the wear and tear of just how exhausted your body as usually is, but for the first time, you actually see a little bit of pinkness to your skin. The makeup that was caked onto your face and almost mummified to your face is now a little bit lighter. For the first time, you don't have lipstick smeared across your face and mascara dripping down your sides as a type of war paint, but if you could see it, you look off to the mirror and you see a semblance of what you used to look like before disasters hit. You're still not at 100%, but you feel as though progress has been made. I won't make that decision for you because this is your character, but Dr. Pepper has done decent work in cleaning you up.
Yeah, Beloved really does not know how to react. She is now wearing different clothes, and she's cleaner than she has been in years. So, I mean, she has accidentally walked through several rivers, but like, this is on purpose for once.
Yeah. Ah. Oh, aren't you just a lovely specimen? I can see what your betrothed sees. Yeah, very lovely indeed. Isn't that much nicer to feel more like how you are rather than what those you need vengeance on want you to be?
Yeah, Beloved is kind of really conflicted right now, so she's starting to emote a little more. Like, you can see that there's actual conflict on her face. Like, she looks troubled. So she decides that, you know what, fuck this. She's not gonna think about it right now. She grabs the softest things she can find and she drags them to one of the. Is there like a bedding? Like you said, there was straw or something, Gray?
Yeah, there is some general bedding area where you guys are on the third floor.
Uh, Unfortunately, the softest things she can find are actually Dr. Pepper's and mustard seed. So they're just kind of dragged next to her. So
They're her plushes.
they're like her hug pillows for the night.
Imagine Dr. Pepper's when he gets squeezed sounds like the penguin from Toy Story.
Squeakers.
Absolutely.
I think I feel a song coming up.
Man, he really did always sound like he had a mouthful. Yeah. Well, I think that was a very progressive evening for us. Yeah.
So Wyatt, make sure to record that 19 of your training.
All right. Training.
You'll have to make a little post for it. Just put it somewhere.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, there's no actual button for it.
Oh, thank God, I was feeling very safe. Oh, look at that. 17, you said?
19.
19.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
What happens after I hit 100?
You get the thing. You first get a free thing instead of having to level up to get it.
Oh, well, I just got good medicine then.
Yeah.
Not yet. I don't know.
We're
I mean,
working on it.
yeah.
Well, it was at 87%.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't realize you
Well, there
were
you
down
go.
Oh, okay.
You did it, Wyatt. Congratulations.
Okay. I do believe that is one of the Grim Hollow feats. I will have to look that up later. But I will make sure to have that stuff written down for you before next session.
Thank you. Hooray.
You did it. Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Sometimes
Now I
good
had to-
medicine is just good therapy. Sometimes all you need is a good
Good bath.
a good bath, a good drink, and a full night's rest. That's good medicine.
And a couple animal living plushies.
This is
Yeah.
just now my life now.
Good lumbar practice.
Your hollow bird bones creak and crack. All right. Training is out. With that in mind, the following morning comes eventually. The night. This is a protected area, with between the grove and the anti-magic. You guys have virtually nothing to fear.
Virtual.
Spirit stuff.
As you all begin to slowly wake up, you smell some seared meat cooking down below.
Ooh.
Oh.
As Esmeralda does shout up and say, "Morning all. Hope you like wolf steak."
No, beloved
Beloved.
does.
Beloved bolts out of bed and heads downstairs.
Like, not even like waking up, like, oh yeah, stretching. Like, no, just immediate up and going.
Food.
She fucking loves wolf steak.
Yeah. As you jump down down to the second floor. Sorry, burping. She just has what looks to be a small little campfire with a couple of cinder blocks acting as like a base. As she's promptly searing what seems to be a fresh kill. Yeah, the good thing about those stupid wolves always hanging around, there's always fresh meat nearby. She promptly, like a flapjack, she just chucks like the steak off to the side, as there's just a big old pile of wolf steaks off to the side. By all means, help yourself.
I'm gonna step up.
This is the morning after, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So we can long rest.
Yep.
Yes.
Everyone,
Yeah.
get your long rest.
All right.
Yeah, I imagine like once Beloved sees the wolf steaks in the kitchen, she drops me.
It's nothing
The first
personnel.
Oh yeah. She will gently drop Dr. Pepper's, but you know. And she politely left Mustard Seed back on the bed because she didn't want to rudely carry him without his permission. I mean, she's not his nurse.
No, not really.
Hello, nurse.
But
yeah,
yeah,
I
Beloved
imagine-
immediately starts eating this wolf steak with her bare hands.
You
Should
managed
steps
to,
outside.
yeah, you managed to grab one of the more charred ones. It's always the cook's cut, essentially. As you bite into this, a little more on the charred end. It's got a bit more of a kick to it. It's a little bit dry, but still got that good mouthfeel. Shem, you were saying you were stepping outside?
He steps outside just long enough to druid craft some spices to throw on the meat.
Good call. As it's resting, you throw on a little bit of garlic and salt,
Coriander.
coriander, a little black pepper.
He has to keep going out to druid craft and come back in.
I like to think that Esmeralda, like, or someone who's working on the actual cooking is like, you know what would go great with this? And he's like, okay.
Okay.
It's like a half-mile walk to the door for him, and he's like, okay, one more.
You just take the spear like a flagpole, and you just step out on that for a little bit.
It's just it's like a fucking Keegler elf trying to run between like the door and the oven, essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, as sits down, wolf steak in hand, kind of following Beloved's like her cue, and just kind of like bites into it like a Slim Jim.
Yum, 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 yum.
Oh wow, these came out really good. I don't remember putting spices on this.
Oh well.
I don't know. It just shrugs and starts munching down.
How would wolf steak even taste?
It's very gamey. It's also very stringy. But if it's marinated properly, I've heard that it can be very tender if cut the right way.
I mean, I imagine that's the case for a lot of things.
But Esmeralda probably didn't get the great cut, so she's just got meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beloved doesn't know any better because she's used to eating in the Underdark, and it's mostly predators down there. So, as far as she's concerned, this is prime. This is A1 material.
We can't
Probably
use
use the
A1.
Underdark. Like,
Say that again, Zeal?
oh, so she's probably used to Underdark predators too. So she's like spicy spider's legs and like other unholy
Illicit.
abominations.
Illicit
Yeah.
calamari.
Oh, you have not lived until you have eaten Underdark vending food.
But yeah.
Oh god.
Looking outside, the weather is, well, pretty nice for Barovia, all things considered. But do you think that maybe just the Druid Grove doing its thing? It kind of always smells like spring in this area. As finishes her breakfast and says, "All right, I think I'm gonna be staying here for just a little bit longer. Usually, that old fucking bastard stalks around here for a little too long. So I usually have to wait it out a few days. You guys are welcome to travel about. I think he's mostly just interested in me. I don't think he'll try anything going with you guys."
Had a few thoughts on the matter. It sounds like it might be worth doing a stealth mission to see if we can get in touch with that one lady you knew. It also, maybe we can even part him from his little trinket that's calling the ghost wolves.
Ooh, I like this plan.
Otherwise, it may be worth a detour back to Wallaki. It sounds. I mean, he'll nudge Burns like you saw it too last night, right? The moon thing. That you saw the moon too, right?
Yes, but that was part of the ritual thing out of the table, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But
So-
it's specifically dealing with the night goddess who we happen to know a cleric of her. Like, I don't know if we can hedge our bet to see if we can get some insider information on this. Maybe point us in the right direction.
I don't remember that, but alright.
The Watcher lady.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if she'd really want to talk to us right now.
I mean, we're technically good with her. She.
Didn't we also agree like leave Valaki for the time being because Strahd had it out for us?
Well, technically, Valaki is still safe for you guys, given the fact that it's under a hallowed spell. Yeah, the Watcher's... Miss Watcher, she's maybe a little bitter, but she's like, you guys spared my life. Even though my house is kind of wrecked, that was mostly Strahd's doing, so, you know.
Yeah.
You don't want to
Okay.
bring Izet because he did kind of kill her kids. Even though I kind of did that to be on above table.
That's fine.
I did want to do a thing before we try to travel anywhere, though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, let's see. How long does this spell last? Okay. I'll ask like Esmeralda, like how far away is the den of werewolves that she knows of?
That is a good question, Mega Man.
Oh no.
And your resource.
She knows where, like, she canonically knows where it is. However, getting the distance, let me look at the map. Alright, 1 square. It is kind of insane that 1 square is 1/4 of a mile, so.
But these things are a lot closer together than you think they would be.
Yeah. Alright, so you guys are here. So that means that it's probably up to here, is where it is. So you're looking at 3/4 of a mile.
3/4 of a mile.
3/4 of a mile?
Wait.
Okay.
Wait, I thought you said. Okay, yeah, never mind.
Yeah. Shit. I can use that spell. I'll use another one, but I might need her.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to use some of my fucking divination spells to go spy.
Oh, wouldn't a regular scry work if we know her name?
I don't have
Don't have a
scry
whole
yet.
lot. Oh,
Yeah, I also need to roll my portents today, so hold on. 18 and
that
6.
is very important.
Nice.
Yes. No, not there. So it's within a mile, you said, right?
It should be within a mile, yes.
Cool. If I can... Sorry, I'm reading spells again because I haven't played this character in a year.
All good in the hood.
If Esmeralda has she been inside the werewolf den?
She's been at the entrance, at the very least. She does know that the entrance is guarded.
I mean, it could hurt. Can I, like, step outside and cast, like, clairvoyance with her assistance to, like, go spying a little bit?
Okay. Yeah. She'll give you coordinates.
Yeah. Since I have the cool, handy-dandy, like, expert divination, that doesn't really cost me a spell slot. So, yay.
Alright. As you begin to use your clairvoyance, you peer in behind your eye patch as the image kind of begins to take clarity. There is motion right now. It would appear that Kirill is just returning from a hunt. He's currently bringing in a meager goat haunch back to the den.
So just one goat leg?
A few of the other wolves are carrying stuff as well.
Ah.
Small game, hares, and maybe some squirrels.
Well, then since I have a good look at Kirill, can I try and spot perhaps the trinket that allows him to summon the wolves? Or does he, like, dismiss them or anything?
He does dismiss them as they reach into the entrance of the cave.
What does he do to dismiss them? Does he, like, actually do a hand gesture, or does, like, an item have to be activated? Or deactivated?
He whistles. He puts his fingers to his mouth and gives a sharp whistle as they begin to fade into mist.
Can I tell, like, is that part of the spell casting, or...
It seems to be the equivalent of, like, a, what's the right word? Activation phrase?
But nothing on him seems like a trinket that would do that. Like nothing flashes or activates or deactivates.
I'll allow you a perception check to see if anything catches your eye.
I'm not good at perception yet. I only got one 14.
14. You notice that, again, he kind of always has those sais in his hands whenever he's walking about. Even when he was addressing you guys at the tower, he had them in both hands, ready to go.
Like the sickles?
The sickles, yes.
Okay.
When he whistles, he puts them back down, and that's when the wolves disappear.
Ah. Can I roll an insight then?
Go ahead.
Can I insight? Is the whistle like him convincing the other like the other members of the pack that he is magical and it's not the weapons doing it?
Sure does seem a little suspicious.
Interesting. So if we can disarm him, perhaps that will help us somewhat. Interesting. Do the sickles look runic, magical?
Oh, absolutely. You get a
Like,
closer.
Sorry.
You get a closer look on them. There is depictions of wolves etched all along the blade length.
Well, how appropriate. All right. Well, that's a pretty good start then. All right. Nice. Does anyone seem to notice my little orb floating? It's invisible,
It is invisible, but
and there's nothing they can really like smell for it.
No. Sorry, something caught in my throat.
You're right.
Because it's invisible and none of them can really smell magic. Your little moat is undetected.
And I will, as I watch him go in and see nothing else come out for a bit, I will dispel it and return my vision to where I am right now.
All right. You learn that currently Kirill is in the den.
All right, yeah, I'll inform Esmeralda of that, so she doesn't have to worry too much.
So she's like, okay, so he's not going to fuck around here for a bit. So if you guys are going to move, I suggest doing it now.
And I'll say, it appears I got a good look at him when he was dispelling the wolves. I think it's just the sickles in his hands, but I think he's tricking the rest of his pack into that he has these powers and it isn't just an item. So, if you believe what Emil and Zulika were saying is correct, do you think they would turn on Kirill if we could prove that he's not as powerful as they thought?
I think they would definitely question him. If we had a meal, he could definitely convince the others to stand down. And maybe turn this into a one and two. He may be open to more. The group may be more open to negotiations. If Emil was there to speak openly, Emil was very well liked among the pack, the pact. Pack.
Well,
Yeah.
pack, yeah.
Yeah.
Emil is probably not going to be the one able to do that right now. Do you think Zulika could?
Maybe, but you'd have to first get to her.
Yes.
There's a chance, but I don't know. Emil got hauled off towards the Strahd's Keep. From
Castle Raven.
Castle Ravenloft,
Right.
yes.
Yeah, so.
Odds are there's about a 50-50 chance that he's still alive. Werewolves are very resilient. And sometimes Strahd likes to keep some prisoners alive purely just to hear them suffer.
Question is, what are the odds we can get into the keep without pissing off the castle dude?
Well, sadly, Castle Ravenloft is on the other side of this fucking map.
It's also
It's not a
with
very big map, though.
I mean, with Mustard Seed, you could probably get there by the end. Like, if you leave right now, I'd say you'd probably be able to get to there like in 5 hours. Or
Okay,
not
but
even not even 5 hours. So it's only like let's see, if every 4 is 1 mile, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2,
The
3,
entire
4.
country.
1, 2, 3. It's like 4 miles.
that doesn't
the-
seem right. But,
It really doesn't, but that's what the map's telling me.
I mean, this is fantasy country. It's basically the size of Luxembourg.
well, that's cool. We can get there. I'd rather not go to the end game dungeon right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
not to
a
be
bump
too
table.
That's why I was asking what are our odds of getting in and out without pissing off the locals?
I mean, you get the feeling that, well, Esmeralda will probably say, I've actually been in there before.
Interesting.
Like, as a guest or as an interloper?
Both.
Oh.
He has a lot of, he does have a tendency to send out invitations to people that catch his fancy.
Ugh.
What about people who he is very pissed off about?
Also, invitations. It's mostly to invite them over to kill them.
So wait, which invitation did you get?
Well, probably when he heard that I was a vampire hunter. I'm assuming it was the latter.
You have the red hair, so maybe not.
I made it a habit of keeping out of sight of him while I was
Fair.
snooping about. He did eventually spot me, and I had to make a very quick exit afterwards.
She's still above the fact she's still alive is a damn miracle.
I mean, she's an apprentice, but when you, like, level wise, she's probably just as capable as you guys are, like, now, like level 7. And
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
this is after she's been crippled.
Yeah. Well, cool. I still don't like the idea of sneaking into the castle.
The other option is to try and get a hold of the lady, and I feel like either way we're gonna have to do a stealth mission to get in there. Which means it's probably gonna be mostly Mustard and I taking point on this.
Yeah. And and Mustard Seed is already kind of like not necessarily insulted Strahd to his face, but has not given him a reason to like him.
Yeah.
And also, don't we still need to find Master Van Richten?
Yeah, but that's our side quest right now is to help Esmeralda with her werewolf problem, then she can get us an audience.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, surely there has
Beloved's
to
gonna
be...
speak up.
Oh.
She was paying more attention than usual to the conversation, and she's going to clear her throat and say, Challenge. Challenge
Wow.
Kiriel to a fight. Unarmed. No weapons. What she's suggesting is that she can challenge Kiriel to the arena fights that he seems to love so much and kill him like that, proving his entire philosophy wrong and depriving him of his main asset, which is the spectral wolf summoning scythes.
Well, that's one way to do it, but how can we trust that, one, we could even set this up, and two, that his followers won't cheat?
Well, we can cheat too.
I'm more worried about him cheating than his followers. He seems shady. It's the wolf pack that talks about honor.
Well, if we're going with
Yeah,
the route of
it's
trying to take him out and prove that his powers are nothing but lies, we should also consider the fact that the children that were kidnapped are not the only ones that were. There are members of his pack, so to speak, that were also once children that were forcibly turned into lichens. I'm sure they've had to play. I'm sure they'd had to save face for a while, but if they were given an opportunity to finally get revenge for having their lives ruined by him, perhaps we can appeal to them and get some assistance that way.
Honestly, I think that there is a decent chance we could. Oh, wait, sorry, I'm metagaming. Uh, Beloved will stick to her suggestion of challenging him to a one-on-one fight, which will keep him occupied and allow the rest of you to move. It'll also probably satisfy Mother Knight's challenge.
True. We want to leave
Well,
you to yourself because we're pretty sure he won't play fair either. So.
Yeah.
well, how about we meet in the middle? You can have your one-on-one, and we can make sure that there's no funny business during this. Assuming that he'll be cheating, or his followers.
As will speak up and say, "Yeah, are you by chance a monk?"
Beloved shakes her head.
Okay, that's gonna be very difficult. He is a werewolf. They're very resilient. Unless you have some sort of edge, I don't see you surviving this one-on-one with just your bare hands.
You
I
sure
mean,
you
we
just
could keep.
can't fight weapon on weapons?
Beloved is extremely confident that she can kill him with her bare hands. How realistic that is unknown, but she's just gonna try and rip his throat out.
What kind of
Oh,
wedding ring you got? Assuming you've got one on, right? Wouldn't be silver by any chance, would it?
Yes. No, it's gold.
Want to
Yeah.
go? Want to go,
Although,
jewelers?
I mean,
We can get you iced out.
we do have silver coins.
If
we
I'm,
just make brass
we could-
knuckles, but silver.
I mean, I'm pretty
We
sure.
wouldn't even need to make brass knuckles. Just enough of a ring for her to deal aggravated damage with her bare hands.
I mean,
Problem is, she'll
here's
see
a
it.
here's a general question: of all the loot that you guys have gathered, do you not have one single silver ring?
I mean, I'm sure we must. I mean, I don't have silver coins. Let's see. I have
A gold ring?
a lot of gold stuff. Yeah.
We had a silver
Yeah.
comb that was converted into a knife.
Yeah.
But
Oh. Oh, actually, if we're going the cheating route, we do have doll-sized silver knives. If Chemu is willing to offer his.
Just put it in between your fingers.
Oh, I have something called a silver cloche. What's a cloche?
Close.
cloche. It's the domed dish thing that you serve like a turkey in.
Oh. Well, I got one of those.
Just beat him over the head with that. Get tavern brawler. Just bang.
Bang, ding
Just
dong.
bong.
Tom and
Well,
Jerry style.
we don't have
No,
to decide.
actually, good raw materials. We can definitely use that.
All right. So maybe heading back to Valaki is a good idea to hit up a blacksmith and stuff.
Hmm.
All right.
Oh,
Well,
got
I
a
know the way
bookshelf.
there. I can get us there quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also got a bookshelf.
All right. It sounds like you all have a plan. As you go outside and see your wagon,
Mm.
you see the remains of the bones of both those poor druid bastards, as well as your horses. It's gonna
Oh
be a
yeah.
little awkward pushing that, but Periwimple's like, oh, I can probably push it.
I mean, Bride's already a
Beloved
hawk.
also volunteers to help with pushing it.
All right.
Real quick before we do anything, should Irina stay here?
That's up to her. I mean, will
Yeah.
she be pissed off? You know,
well-
fight for so long?
Well, okay, let's consider this. Isaac is terrified of the wolves.
Hmm.
Irina is in constant danger from Strahd.
Hmm.
Honestly, if the two of them were to stay anywhere, it'd probably be safest in the tower.
Yeah, yeah.
And honestly, they probably have a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
On the other hand, can we even trust Isaac alone with her?
I mean, he
What if
was
Johnny
originally
stays with them?
Yeah, Johnny, he's volunteers like, I mean, I got nowhere else to be. Besides, I feel like there's. I'm a werewolf hunter by trade. Uh,
Oh.
I feel like I should stay near here just to provide the backup.
Well, as long as you believe you can handle yourself.
Don't worry. I'll make sure everyone here stays safe. Besides, I think this old Druid Grove can use a little bit of a touching up too.
All right.
Hmm.
Sounds good. I mean, we'll also of course, ask Irina and Isaac if they'd rather stay here.
Irina says, I'm perfectly fine staying here. Valaki kind of gave me a sour taste, if I'm being completely honest.
I
And
mean,
Isaac can't exactly go
yeah.
back there anyway, so.
Oh, that's right. He's the one that got kicked out.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Yeah.
politely asked him to leave. They can't really force him to do shit. He thoroughly established that he can do whatever the hell he wants there.
They asked him to resign.
We get politely to leave.
And he responded with, what the fuck ever, and left.
Yeah. How's he doing this morning? Is he a little bit better?
Little bit better, but he is kind of keeping one eye over his shoulder at all times. But he is says, I it's safe inside the tower, so I'm fine. I'm fine.
Well, all right.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be much use for this particular side quest, so
Yeah, yeah.
we could probably just leave him here until we solve that.
Well, he could. Maybe we could help him face his fears.
I mean, we do have a registered psychologist in the group.
I mean, hey, if we can get past his fear of wolves, that's like more shit he can do for us.
Yeah. We will drag him
Yeah,
kicking and screaming.
So, what should we do with those sickles once they're liberated from their current owner? Should we give them to the werewolves or keep them ourselves?
I mean,
Because,
I would keep them
no offense,
ourselves.
Gray, I don't think our DM is going to let us keep the army that summoned an army of fuck you wolves.
Well, I mean, we'll see about that because maybe the wolves won't want it because it's proof of like him being a cheat. We can
Maybe.
take it away.
True.
And also, it's a really cool magic item that we should probably have at our disposal. I was also like, would it even work because like Strahd is the one that gave it to him? Like, so does it?
It is a blessing from Strahd, so to speak. So, question mark? We'll have to see.
Yeah.
But with that in mind, this sounds like a good cutoff point. This gives me time to plan out
Fair.
your next, the next session, and
Oh.
hopefully after you do your after a brief shopping and preparation, you can confront this werewolf den. But thank you all once again for joining us this year
All
for
right.
for Ravenloft. It's good to be
Yeah.
back. So glad to have Reed and Wyatt back with us again, and we'll see you guys next week for more Spoopy Month. Bye.
Woo! Woo!